what can be done to improve the run defense? Should they play more base on early downs or load up the box with Wilson and Curse? What are your thoughts there, Bryan?
Well, the biggest problem that I saw was on their run fits. They have enough bodies, but the problem is if you are responsible for a gap and you overrun that gap trying to get to the ball, if you're Donovan Wilson or Curse or Van Der Esch, these guys that, are kind of a cleanup guys, the finish up guys, if you overrun your gap when the ball's snapped, and you're out of position, there were a couple times they cut the ball back really nicely because you were so adamant, so anxious to get, front side instead of playing your scheme position. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I know all of Dan Quinn's scheme fits and stuff, but I do know that if you have three guys on one side of the ball all there and the ball cuts back and it's in the there's three guys standing in the A-B gap right next to the center, right next between the guard and the tackle. If there are three guys there and there's not somebody on the other side of the center in the backside A and they cut the ball back, that's a problem. That is a problem. So to me, they have got to be better on their run fits and like the run that Dobbs had. I mean, Parsons gets caught in no man's land. He's usually Parsons, like when Dobbs pulled, usually Parsons is kind of like that guy. If he's on top of you, he got caught once again, quarterback or running back. He got caught in between no man's land. Okay, now Dobbs pulls and he's running. On the outside, you got everybody trying to chase down inside. Everybody's going down inside. But you got Wilson and Curse on the outside, and the two tight ends, Jeff Swaim and Zach Ertz, are out there blocking. But what happens is, hook them. But what happens is Wilson goes so far inside so fast that instead of like the two tight ends blocking on each of the safeties, they just double Curse. Double Curse, and then they come off because Wilson's trying to react back to the outside. And they just they bounce off each other, and then next thing you know, tight ends on Curse, tight ends on Wilson, and ball is now spilling to the sidelines. You've got to play your scheme. You've got to do your responsibility. This isn't a time for hero ball, and I'm sure Dan Quinn said that all week. I hope I answered the question. I don't know. I just know watching the tape, the second half, their run fits were much better. They were. Yeah. It was more in line to how they needed to play.
Yeah, I think that they looked a little unprepared. In the first
how could
half
you be
of the
unprepared?
game.
I mean, you and I are watching the tape leading up to the game.
You know what?
And we're talking about RPOs, and it's their. And I remember I said it on so many platforms. It was RPOs and. It's one of their best plays, and you got to be ready for it. And you got to be ready for them trying to make Micah Parsons freeze. And how could you not be ready for that? That's my question. How could you not be ready for that?
I'll say this:
I'm just a slapdick scout sitting here, doing radio with you.
Were they emotionally unprepared? Is my thing. Is that I hate to give excuses like this. I think that Trayvon Diggs injury devastated that defense this week. I think they were distracted a little bit.
I think they saw an 0-2 football team.
Overlooked them.
And they got beat by the Giants and gave up points and all that. Yeah, I do. At least for a half. Yeah. Defensively for a half, yes.
Got punched in the mouth a little bit.
And then you had the big-time breakdown. The 69-yard pass was a backbreaker. That was a backbreaker play because you're playing pretty well at that point. Yeah. But it was, the whole thing. 44-yard run, 45-yard run, 20 yards run, 69 yards. How many explosives did they give up in this game?
Yeah, the three longest plays in the game were all the Cardinals. And so that tells you right there.